Good day, Industrial Advisor listeners, and thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, please do so by clicking subscribe wherever you podcast. Click the like button and hit the bell if you want notifications of when we put up new content. Leave us a comment about anything we discuss here today or general comments about the show. Now, let's get into it.
Welcome to our Industrial Advisors podcast. We're doing a 5-minute Friday here. You have Bill Condon and Matt McGregor. And the topic today is the Highway 167 extension. And this came up the other day. Somebody asked us about it. And I kind of chuckled because our entire careers, they've been talking about the completion of the Highway.
2 years out.
Yeah.
2 years out.
And 3 years. So, it's been going on for close to 20 years. And I actually didn't know what the status was, but it's actually getting closer to completion. So talk about that.
Well, first, for the listener that isn't fully aware, our Industrial Valley kind of almost dead ends in Puyallup, a highway called 167. And then if you're a truck trying to get to the Port of Tacoma, you have to kind of traverse your way down what once was some country lanes, right? Now a little bit more infrastructure to it. But it's a kind of a strange way to get to the port because the highway ends, and for about 6 miles or so, you kind of got to take some different roads to get to the port. And that has been a congestion point and a sticking point for tenants trying to settle in that area. And it's always been rumored that this 167 is going to be punched to the port. And to Bill's point, 20 years later, it's still not done. So is it going to get done? Well, yes. Right now, it's projected to complete in 2028. It's fully funded. All the land is acquired. There's construction going on. There's bridges being finished and widened and built. There's all sorts of infrastructure going on in phases to complete by 2028, which, who knows if that hits that date, but that's the current projection. And I do think finally it will get done based on the fact that, all the funding is there. They're building. They are moving.
Yeah, and that'll have an impact on those buildings that are in close proximity to that. So what do you think? I mean, obviously, that area, the Port of Tacoma area, has been awesome the last 4 or 5 years and been, getting great absorption, great tenant activity. So that'll only make that market better.
I think it only makes that market, that's greater Sumner region that's been the top absorption throughout our careers, minus lately only because there's no product there. The tenants that don't go down there because of that issue will go, and it's going to really speed up that corridor all the way down 167, right? And it's going to free that highway up, hopefully clear up some of that congestion, because coming southbound, all those trucks coming back down at the end of the day, starting at about 2 o'clock, it's backed up in the southern end of that because it stops.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that goes away in a few years.
Yeah, and that's big time. It's going to have a positive impact. Sumner, Puyallup, Fife, Tacoma. It's going to impact all those markets.
Yeah, and it's going to make the labor a little more fluid going up and down that highway. That if you're looking at a job in Kent and you're all of a sudden an hour and 15 minutes back home, and now it's 32 or something like that, because that doesn't turn into a bunch of stoplights and change ups versus just a straight highway with exits. That's going to change things.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a good point. It'll change things for those north markets too, from Sumner, Puyallup, and Fife. So it'll be an interesting one to watch. We've been kind of watching it our whole careers. I forgot about it and stopped paying attention to it. Right. It was like 3 years out every 3 years. So, but it sounds like they're making good progress.
They are.
And maybe in our careers it'll actually get done.
Yes. If I'm a betting man, I say 2029. Maybe give it a year buffer. Remember the Alaska Viaduct, that bit got stuck for a year and a half?
Yeah.
in the ground.
It's just that there's just a lot of different people making decisions there,
Yeah.
A lot of different groups, municipalities. And so I'd probably say over 2030, but we'll see. I mean, hopefully it gets done. I think it'll be really helpful for the market.
It will be. Happy Friday, and thank you so much for listening.